All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Savannah, and
I'm Chase. This is our Hack the Box meetup for April. Um, we have Bigb0ss here.
yep, this is Dan. Hey, Dan.
Hi everyone, my name is Dan. I'm actually a coworker with Savannah, and thanks for having me for today's meetup.
Yeah, no problem. So today, Dan is going to be walking through the box buff. So I'm going to let Dan share his screen, and then we can go ahead and get started. Before we get started, if you did enter in your username on the meetup group, it was added to the server. If not, feel free to ping us on Discord, and we can drop the Discord link if anybody needs that. All right, so I'll go ahead and remove all of us and let you share your screen, Dan.
Can you guys see my screen? Okay. So, as I said, as Savannah said, I'm going to go over the one of the Hack the Box retired box, which is Buff. This was one of the easy box and created like a while ago, and I did this box a while ago. And the reason I chose this box for today's kind of walkthrough is very straightforward. It has some really good content, such as you can bypass some PHP, some file extension whitelisting to upload your malicious PHP file, and also you can for the privilege escalation. There's some binary. You can do some buffer overflow in order to get a full system shell. And before that, my name is Daniel Min. Also, for the Hack the Box, I go by Bigb0ss. I'm currently a elite hacker as a rank. I've been playing Hack the Box a lot for like past couple of years, but recently I've been kind of swamped with work and doing other stuff. I've been kind of slowing down, but I will definitely getting back to Hack the Box to do more. And my goal is to try to become like next rank, which is group. So no further ado, let's start this. So as I connect it to the Hack the Box VPN right now, and the first thing we're going to do the basically map scan. So when the IP was 198 and no ping, just disable SMP, and then just outputting the open file. And the SC is a safe script, and then which is default by the nmap, and the SV is a version gonna according for the version. And then just since it's a CTF, I'm just gonna do a little faster, and then you can just specify the IP to get the nmap started. So this will take a while. So I actually run this before this meetup. So this actually find a 2-port, which is a 7680, and then 8080. And then 7680 seems like, I don't know what that is, so maybe I just go there. And then it just kind of looping and it didn't find anything. So next thing was interesting was port 8080, which was a web port. And when we went there, we ran it on the kind of website. It looks like fitness, and kind of assuming that why this box was called as buff is looks like this website is fitness or gym related. And then kind of further information I did from the contact, I was able to. Okay. Savannah asked me to increase the terminal. Is that good, Savannah? Okay. We'll zoom in a little bit to here. Sorry about that. So I was able to see that which application, maybe which framework this application was made on. It's doing that gym management software 1.1.0. And I just went ahead and I did some information. And then also whenever you do kind of when you see a web application, and since it's PHP, you can If you don't find anything, you can also look for those kind of, if there's a login page, you can do some, other SQL injection type of vulnerability. You can check with like single tags or anything, or you can. So also, what I also do is I try to kind of use some Bigb0ss or Bigb0ss to in order to enumerate the web page, like the files and hidden directories. But this box, for our sake of our time, was actually vulnerable to ODay. It was found by security researcher Bigb0ss. And when you search for it, you can hit the first exploit DB. And the Bigb0ss did a really good job kind of explaining the vulnerability about this upload.php file upload. And then he also provided POC code. But let me kind of quickly go over what was the vulnerability and how we can exploit this. So before that, just reading this kind of reproduction exploit detail, he said the upload.php was accessible and without any authentication. And also, he mentioned that this is unauthenticated RC. It's really promising. Since we don't have any credential, we can maybe leverage this to get a full RC on the box. So first thing first, I want to see if this upload.php is available. When I went there, looks like we see some the application debugging was enabled. That's why we see the full root path for this file, and we can kind of notice that this file is existing, but this might be indicating that requires some other parameter in order to fully access this functionality. And then he also said that ID parameter is get request is try to retrieve this uploaded file. So let's try this. So ID equal, I'm just gonna, it's a random name. You try to do something, you're rendering anything, because I'm assuming there's a no file, so that's why it's just rendering the empty page. And then since we know that this functionality is available, and then looks like it's matching with his exploit detail, we can go further and then see if we can leverage this to get RCA. Just a little bit of detail. He put some source code from this open source tool. He basically using this PHP, upload the PHP, it upload a file and then put that under the upload slash directory. And then it has some also file extension whitelisting, which only allowing some of the image extension. And then it just like separate. So exploit functionality in PHP is basically like split in Python. It's just splitting with the dot, and then with the file name extension, this for the extension variable, and then we can also modify the content file type and the image image/png, and then with this, as you may also know that we, I think he mentioned somewhere that we can use a double extension, which means like php.png in order to bypass the whitelisting, and then we can upload the PHP file. And then and then he also mentioned that there's another functionality, pupload. As I'm going through the exploit, I can show what this do and in more detail with the burp. And then we can also add the this malicious PHP code as a file. And then for this image kind of content type image bypass, we also have to use some image magic byte. And then I can also explain this later more. And then this is kind of great thing right here, that this is how this extension is like saved. So as you can see, the file is here, and then like I mentioned, exploit is separating with a dot, and then it's saving the extension as a combo one. And he explained here is if he upload the PHP file, php.png file, and then this basically make an array as a Kai-Koken as array 0, and then PHP will be as array 1, and then this will be array 2. Just a little bit of background. Maybe I can show this in more practical way. I think this might be good. So this is so as we can kind of double check his theory, let's copy the kind of image name, and then let's put that as a kind of string, and then we're gonna exploit this with a dot, and then let's run it. It's kind of getting delayed. It's kind of online source. So essentially, what this will do, it will kind of strip out the PNG, and then you will save the file as a PHP file. So this will definitely make our this is how we can upload the PHP file, and then later we can access the PHP file in the upload/directory. Yep, as you can see, the array 0 is the image name, and then array 1 is the PHP, and then we are stripping out this. I mean, the application is stripping out the last array, saving this first array as a file extension. So going through the POC, I mean, whenever you see the this kind of all-day POC in exploit.db, usually safe, and also it's good practice to kind of go over kind of what it does, and then maybe if you can create this in your kind of manual way, it might be better. But seems like there's no kind of GUI access for this upload PHP functionality. I'll be using some Python code, but let's kind of go over this PHP, the POC code real quick. So this first kind of function here is kind of just looping the web shell, and the meat of this kind of exploit is right here. Basically, uploading this malicious PHP file using this PNGs, like I said, kind of image magic byte. So if you guys don't know what the kind of magic byte is, every kind of for the Linux for the file, when you do kind of convert this to like binary, like hex code, there'll be some code that indicate which file type is this. So when you basically you can there's a source for, I should have looked it up. Oh yeah, here's some kind of list of things you can kind of see. Like for the kind of file, there's a certain kind of magic byte indicating this is a file type. So for this kind of PNG, the signature is this one, like this. So as we saw this from this exploit code, it was the same thing. And I also downloaded one example, the index PHP file, a PNG file. So when you do this, when you do this file command, you can see this PNG is the image file. And then you can also confirm the magic byte by doing this. This is a little Indian, but as you can see, this 8954E47. So it's definitely meeting with this magic byte. So we just need to append this magic byte and then add our malicious code to successfully upload the file. So let's try this. Just maybe we can use the POC code. It works 100% fine, but let's, for this sake of learning, try to maybe create some our own. And then I just also want to add the kind of prox header in order to capture this with my birth, so that how this is working in the background. So I'm just gonna So we need to import something. And I'm going to put the target URL as and then I have directory that you will upload the file. And then we can change this to Bigb0ss. And this verify false. This is good practice, put it, but since this is HTTP, you don't really need it. I'm just going to get rid of it. And we can change the file name as Bigb0ss, as we specify that we're gonna. So when we upload the file, we're gonna strip this out like PNG, and then just upload the Bigb0ss.php. And then for the Bigb0ss file, I'll just like to use the system. And this is a very basic. So there's some lagging on my end. And then this is just variable that when we were able to successfully upload a file, we can use the cmd as a variable and then run the system command. And this seems good. And then, as I said, I'm going to add the proxies tag. And then, as you mentioned, this will be using the p-upload functionality that you mentioned over here. Yep, and then upload the file. So that's why we just specify the p-upload, and then we're gonna upload this file. And for this, this is basically creating a session, and then check this session for the get request. Try to save the session, and then we are just using the post request to upload the file. And then we need to proxies, and this will basically configure with the proxy that the Bigb0ss proxy I have here, and is by default configuration for 8080. So as I'm sending this exploit, this with the HTTP request will be captured in my Bigb0ss. So, and then there's always kind of good to add some error handling. So like we can do something like that. And then we're just exiting out. All right. Okay, let's try this exploit and then see if we can upload a file, Bigb0ss.php to the target application. Hope there is no. There's some error. Okay. I have to. Oh. Actually, we don't need this. Upload directory. We're gonna just URL. And here we're just gonna do URL plus our directory, which will just combine these two URL and directory, and then upload the file. As I can show you in this, how it's going in the proxy with the burp, it will be more clear how it's working. Oops, there's more, or hold up. Oh shit. So it seems like it is doing something, and then it said file upload, and then when we go to the history, we can see this uploaded, this captured the request in our burp. Let's put it in the repeater. I'm not sure how to zoom in this burp. It might be a little small, but so basically what it does is it uploads the Bigb0ss.php PNG. It uses a pupload functionality, and then the magic file we specified, it's is specified here, and then our malicious code is right there. So let's do it again, and then we didn't get any error, and let's see if we can access our the malicious file here. So it said that it should be in upload directory, and see, looks like there is a file, but it requires index a CMD. Seems promising. And then let's do whoami. Yep, we're able to get that first our code execution of the box. So from the card information, we know that this is a Windows box. So if we do like ls, it wouldn't work, but we can like some Windows command, this will work. Oh, my bad. So since we have RCE, and as I said, if you just run this POC code, it will work like perfectly too. But just doing kind of it yourself and kind of understand what it's doing in the background and the behind the scene is also really good for your practice too. So I recommend. And the next thing is let's try to get the full reverse shell from this box. So since this is a Windows box, I want to upload this netcat. So try to see where. So netcat binary from my Kali box. So I'm just copying one of the netcat. Okay, is there any? Okay, so now, so since we have this RCE, and we can actually use a PowerShell to download our netcat file. I just have the command right here, and maybe it might be better to use a burp proxy to do our further exploitation. So I'm just gonna intercept. I need to put on my burp, and then put it in the repeater. And then I'm gonna copy and paste this PowerShell. Essentially what it doing is a PowerShell, and then this will get this netcat binary from my web server, and then put the output within this upload directory. The reason I choose this directory is it seems like with our current authorized context, we can put any files here. So I'm going to use this. So first thing first, we need to URL encode. And then before doing that, we need to run the simple the web server on our Kali. So from here, I'm gonna run it. And it seems like we have 200 success. And the next thing, just gonna make another one. And then we need to run the netcat to create the reverse shell. So basically just calling the netcat that we uploaded, and then just connecting to our netcat listener on Kali in port 443, and then you will start the command.exe. So let's URL encode this, and then we can stop this using another terminal. And then we are just starting with the netcat, and then using this, we got a reverse shell. So from here, you can actually from this user, you can actually read the user.txt file. I don't know why it didn't. As you can see, we are currently a Sean user, and from his in Hack the Box Windows box, the user flag is usually in desktop folder, and as you can see, you can read the file here. So we now have a user.txt file. Now we need to do privilege escalate in order to get administrator or system access on this box. So you can do basic enumeration and stuff, but while I did, interesting thing I found was when I did task list, there were some interesting binary was running, which was sorry, there's a lot of processes running this window. The cloudme.exe was interesting, and because it's not really a kind of default Windows program or anything, and then also as we are kind of low privilege user, we don't know which user is running this process, but definitely not the Sean user is running this process. So this might be interesting. So, and the next thing I did was try to see where this binary might be at. So that is another, not sure why this dir command is not working this time. Yeah, essentially, but basically, when I did last time, we were able to find this binary in download folder. And it was this binary. This wasn't the same thing, but seems like it's adding more kind of numeric value. And then when I did some research about what it is, there's another exploit for this cloudme. Stop debug. And there was actually a buffer overflow vulnerability on that binary. So it looks like pretty straightforward. It's like if you have taken like an OSCP, it's a kind of exactly the same type of kind of buffer overflow exploit you want to do, and it's just a EIP override, and then you can introduce your malicious payload, and then you can exploit this. And the next step I was doing, and since when we did our initial mmap scan, so and from this POC, seems like this binary was running under the port 80808080, and then we can see the port 808080. But this one was actually running a local port only. So from the outside of the box, we cannot access this port. So next step I had to do was doing some type of port forwarding in order to maybe create a local port on my Kali in order to access this local port in this buff box on port 808080. So as I was kind of doing another practice run last night with the Kali I'm currently using is a little older, so so there's two different ways to do port forwarding with this buff box. The one is doing the p-link, which is the Windows binary which can do kind of port forwarding, and another one is kind of using the sigil. But like I used the kind of more newest Kali box last night, and then p-link was not working because the newest Kali box does some type of SSH key algorithm was not compatible, so it was not working. But if you use any kind of older Kali, you can use a p-link. So maybe I can show you both way to do kind of port forwarding for this box. So first thing first, we also need to let me first do the p-link. So I need to upload the p-link binary into the buff box. So you can do search. And then, like we did for the naked kind of uploading, we can also use a PowerShell to do that. Loading a web shell, a web server, and then from our reverse shell, I'm just going to use a PowerShell, and you're basically getting the p-link from our web server, and then you will put that under the download folder. Okay, so we can see that the p-link binary is downloaded, and then we can use the following command to SSH, basically creating a local tunnel, creating SSH into my Kali box as a root user, and then opening up like port 808080 in its local, in the buffs, the local 8080 into my open as the local port. So let me try to do this. And then how you can confirm is you can just see the nestat to see if we can type. No. It's like it's not working. So, and then we get the connection error. And then later I found out that there's some certain type of the firewall was blocking the outbound port 2020. So I had to change the SSH port on my Kali. So how I did was you can modify the opening for the port. Oh, it was already changed. So it used to be 22, and then you can change some other arbitrary port, and then this may be also disabled on your default SSH for the security reason. It's kind of dangerous, but for the CTF, who cares? So you can just enable the login, and then you can just enable as a yes. And once you made a modification, can restart it. And then if you do nested, the SSH will be running on port 8001. So let's try again with this P-Link using different port. Currently, this time I'm going to use 8001. So seems promising. So what was my pass? Try not to hang me. So as you can see, we are able to open up we're able to do local port forwarding for the buff box on the port 8080. And this is a P-Link way. And this perfectly works for the more kind of older Ubuntu. But for the newer version, like it didn't work. So let me try to show that other way. And honestly, I like this kind of CGL way better because the CGL is a built-in goal, and then it's just making amazing tunnel, and this is just an amazing project. And then whenever you do kind of CTF, and especially for Hack the Box, you're going to use this a lot. So if you haven't tried this, like, I highly recommend to try to kind of use this. So first thing first, I'm going to just stop this. Let's see. Just casting out. So before I do that, just I will convert back to normal. Okay. Okay. And then we need to get the reverse shadow gain. I have saved command right here. Oh, this one is not D1. Okay, I can do that from the web browser. Instead of like config, I'm going to use this command. And then it's promising it's hanging, and then we got this reverse shadow gain. So in order to use CGL, you need to download the two different binaries. So one for your Linux box, and then one for the Windows box Windows box, which is Bigb0ss. In order to create that, well, for Linux, you need for opening up the port, and then for the Linux, you need that to connect into the port to open up in the Linux. So for the binary, you can just go to this release page and then download the already compiled one. So I'm gonna download the there's two. Just copy, and you can just use a wget to download it. And since it's a GG file, you can decode it, you can decompress it, and then there is a Linux binary right here. And we might need to, currently it's not, might be executable, so you need to change this to executable. As you can see, this X means like this can be executed by anyone. And then the next thing is we need to also download the Windows binary. And then we'll do the same process. And then I will just make this to more name friendly, cgl.exe. And then we also need to upload this file into our buff machine. So I'll use the same PowerShell command like here. So it's getting the CSL and then download into our download folder. And then before that, we need to start the Python listener. It's a little bit taking a while, but we see that 200 okay, which means it was able to hit the file. Hopefully it finishes soon. Then I'll create another one. I'm not 100% sure why. Sometimes Hackthebox there's some kind of lagging and stuff, so kind of bear with me. Okay, it works now. So we need to go, just to confirm, we need to go this directory. And then we can see that our CGL, the binary is uploaded right here. So first thing first, I'm going to start the reverse tunnel in our Linux box. I'm going to opening up on the port 8080. It's currently listening on the port 8080 for our listener, and our Windows host. You will connect to my Kali box IP on port 8080, and then it will open up this port 8080. So which is basically where cloud.me.exe, the binary is running on. I think there's some cache thing is kind of okay. So let me try again. Yeah, this time we were able to get that the successful connection. And then when we check again, 48080 is listening on. So next thing is we are going to use this POC in order to gain a full admin access. You just copy and paste. I mean, for sake of our time today, I'm not going to do like full walkthrough of how to, like, you know, do crash on the binary and do something like on local. But for anyone kind of interested in doing like exploit development and doing any OSP, this might be really good practice for just practicing is download the binary on your local box and try to do it. So here, I'm just gonna, and there's some certain, and then there's no ASLR or anything to mimic, like kind of manipulate the kind of address location. So this like kind of hard-coded address should be working on our target box. And one other thing was we also need to update this MSF panel payload. This one currently just opening up the calc.exe. So we'll just save this for now. Let's copy this command. And then what we want to do is we don't want, we want reverse shell. So we are going to do just same thing. As we got the first our reverse shell using the netcat, we are going to use a netcat again. So this time when we are able to successfully exploit that binary, and then if since we are overriding the EIP, which is EIP, and then it will run our MSF Venom the payload, and then this time it will create the netcat reverse shell with the context of what that cloud.me.exe binary was running on. So in this case, there was the system, so we can get that system access using this exploit. So let's create that payload. And then this, you have also for our initial reverse shell, we use the 443. You have to use a different port this time, so I'm just using a 8003. Okay. Then you just copy and paste, and it's opening up the Python. You can delete all this payload. And in MSF Venom, you can actually change the variable name, but I forgot to do it. So you can just change it to buff. And target, we are still using the local loopback address. It's because we did our port forwarding, so it's actually running on our local port. So we just still going to use it. And then port 8080, same thing. Seems good. So we're going to save this file. So before running this payload, we also need to start another netcat listener on port 8003. So let's try to run it. Oh, there's another. So the padding was 1000, padding 1, EIP, knob slave, EIP, buff, and padding, EIP, knob slave, and then we have to change this to buff. And essentially what it does is this overrun is as implicated, it's just there's another knob slaves. So we can just knob 2. You're just gonna knob it out with the after the 1500 is our buffer, and then we're just gonna minus the number of paddings and another knob slate, which is kind of dirty that the author specified, and just giving it more kind of padding before hitting our EIP in order to get more buffer, so we get more higher success. And then just putting the EIP address and then putting our malicious buff payload right next to it. And then this buff is actual payload, and then it's just adding all this our payload all together. It looks good now. And then when I run, I didn't get any error. Somehow we didn't get. Sorry about that. Sometime live demo, there's some hiccups. I think the payload was good. Oh, I think I messed up something. Yeah, I was reading my older IP. Sorry about that. My current was 3. Okay, now we can copy and paste. Good. Wish me luck this time. I'm not really sure why it's not working this time. Let's see. CMD. Let me just copy and paste the one that was working from before. Let me try again. The MSF panel. I'll try to do 4, 2, change this. Looks good. Oh, I think I know. Maybe why. I think it should have worked, but I specified the architecture as a 86, which is a 32-bit. And let's see if this will fix it. Okay. Okay. To be honest, I'm not really sure why it's not working correctly. Let me try to use with the peel link again. Maybe see if that's different. The sigil way definitely worked perfectly fine when I worked like last night. So let me try with the peel link. And then kill the. Wanna get the another reverse share again? Okay. Let's see if So my netcat is currently in upload dot, which is correct. Let me double check. Okay. I'm gonna start the P link again. Something's wrong. Oh. Okay, we can see the port and then local is opening up for ADDV. And then in order to do that, I'm going to create the MS Venom again. Sorry guys, I mean, when I did last night, it was working fine, and sometime when I did a live demo, it just like hates me. So it seems like everything is working fine. I mean, let me try to do this again. I mean, x86 should be working on 32-bit and 64-bit anyways. So this was the location here. Okay. Things are good. Let me just copy and paste the payload again. And this time, just gonna copy and paste. Okay. Let me just double check my MSF panel if I, miss anything. Seems good for now. We're gonna change this to buff. Press market. I'm not really sure what was like. Maybe I'm missing really kind of stupid things. You want to hold it. Maybe, I mean, the port 8003 was working fine when I was trying, but let me try with maybe some kind of regular high port. Maybe, I don't know if they kind of faded anything to the firewall recently. Bad character, everything looks good. 443. Okay. Netcat location, let me just double check. Just copy and paste in case. I think it looks good for now. Oh, I was stupid. Sorry, guys. So I opened up the local port as when I did the peeling. Where is it? 8001. So you should be listening on 8001 for 8080. So I'm gonna use the older payload, but I'm gonna change the local port as a 8001. Which one I did? Okay. Port forwarding sometimes really just confusing. Let me try to do this. This one is open up 480. And looks good for now. Let me try to get the one that was working before. Sorry about that, guys. 182, and then I open up. I just need to update this. Okay. Then I might need to stop. No. Wait. Okay. Let me do one more try, and then if that's not working, then I'm just out of luck today. Sorry, guys. Okay, the payload seems good, and then I'm gonna change this to 8001. I'm not really sure why it's not working this time. Maybe probably try to do it again. Oh. Let me just try again one more time. Sorry about that. I was suspecting some caching thing is like tripping me off. Okay, seems good. Let me get the reverse share again. And I'm gonna use this opening up the port 81, and then I'll listen on the 8002 instead of port 8080. And I have to change my IP. Oops. Okay, it's listening on 8002 now with the P-Link. And I'm not going to use architecture this time. This should have been a really easy exploit, but somehow I'm kind of messing it up. So we got the payload. I'm just going to change the payload. We know that it was double check, listening on 8002 this time, changing the target IP, target port is 8002, localhost, payload, since everything is good. To be honest, I don't really understand. Maybe I'm missing a really stupid thing. Just gonna try to use the 443 this time. Yeah, I mean, let me try one more time, and if that doesn't work, I mean, that's how should be just using the port forwarding to open up the local port, and then we just need to specify the whichever listening port you did. Last time I did port 8880, and then this time did port 8002 to listening on that, which is a port 8080 on the buff box. Let me try again for the last time. Let's see. Sound buff. Without no error, it seems like working fine. This time we 443. Let me double check my IP again. 10 443. Okay. I don't really know. Sorry, guys. I mean, that's how you do it, basically. And I don't want to just keep troubleshooting when in front of everyone. So, like, sorry that I wasn't able to show that it's working, but there might be some type of caching or a networking issue on my end. And yeah, that was it for the kind of buff. And
so it definitely must be a network issue, because that is definitely the right steps for what Dan was doing. But if anyone else wants to try to troubleshoot it, feel free. I would say like the next thing to do is to reset the box, but we don't want to just troubleshoot on the stream. So thank you, Dan, for coming. I really appreciate it, and you did an awesome walkthrough of going through everything. Jason.
Yeah, thank you so much. That was awesome.
Thanks, guys. It's a little embarrassing, but I have kind of walked through on my kind of blog post too, and after this meetup, definitely I'm gonna do some troubleshoot and then figure out what's wrong.
Cool. Yeah, and then we can link it too if you like have something to link it to that you figure out what it is.
Versus the live demo.
And then I invited you to the Discord, so if anyone has any questions, feel free to hit any of us up on Discord in the Hack the Box Tampa Meetup group. But we can end this stream here. Thank you guys for coming. Bye, everyone.